So the go-to neutrality for ZZ for the longest time has been x2y. So if you scramble a cube and say, your axis is like white-green, you could solve either white cross or yellow cross and pretty much any color on front or back because you're x2, y neutral. Fair enough, that's pretty cool. You get a choice of 4 distinct crosses, as well as all from a y2 away, and you have to inspect 2 EO axes in order to get them. That's pretty cool, and it gives you the option if you have a bad EO axis to do a Y rotation and have a nicer one. But Z-neutrality is pretty cool as well. So in case you didn't know, doing a Z rotation doesn't affect edge orientation. Alright, so let's get a quick hand scramble here and let's give a quick example. So I'm not going to do any influencing at all, I'm just going to solve EO. So, let's say I look at this and I decide, damn, red's looking kind of nice. So right now I have white on bottom. Come on, lighting. So right now I have a white on bottom. If I want, I can just do a Z rotation and have red on bottom, and green will still be on front. And from there, I can solve the cross with edge rotation already solved, and go through F12 the way I normally would. A bit slower because I'm not used to, the color neutral recognition. From here I can do TSLE as I would, and I can recognize here it's gonna give me PLL and not TTL, and that's a big one. So why is Z neutrality cool? Why am I thinking about it? Well, here's why. You only inspect 1 EO axis, so the cost seems kind of low, and for it you also get 4 crosses. You can do white, red, yellow, and orange, say if your axis was green-blue. And that's cool, because instead of having to inspect 2 axes for 4 crosses, you can inspect 1 axis for 4 crosses. However, if you get like a 12 flip, you're a bit boned. There's nothing you can do about it, you just have to cope, because that's the only axis you solve on. However, if you're just one of those people that powers through having a fixed axis, like Jen, then just do it, honestly. And like a lot of the things that I talk about and make videos on, it's just cool. It's just cool to be like, oh yeah, no, I do ZZ, and then you just pull out an orange cross solve out of nowhere, bamboozle whoever you're talking to. Interestingly, this idea is what enables full color neutral ZZ solving, because you only need 3 axes. Of course, because crosses are fine from a Y2 away, the EO is the same case, and you only really do Y2s for ergonomics, and you can get the 4 crosses. You can get all 12 EO crosses from just 3 axes and Z rotations. So the green-blue axis, here we'll cover front and back. If we then do a Y to inspect the orange and red axis, we have all of these crosses covered. And then the third axis is the yellow and white axis. And from there, any combination of picking one of these axes and doing a Z rotation can lead to any EO cross. People think, oh, color neutral ZZ stuff's crazy, you need to inspect like 12 different EO crosses. You can check 3 EO axes, pick the best, find the best cross. That's how you do color neutral ZZ inspection, and the Z neutrality is just a lower, a lesser degree of that. I think it's really cool that you have this lesser version of color neutral that has this sort of really low level of inspection relative to full color neutral, of course, where you just check 1 axis and look at which cross would be better after that, and that's what you do. Consequently, if you need to do like anti-slice thing like UD prime, U prime D, you can do that with a Z rotation and an S slice, because we take abuse of the fact that Z rotations don't affect EO the same way that we use it to build multiple crosses. We can use it to build 1 cross. So if you look at this, for example, the EO cross, oh come on lighting, don't do this to me. So if you look at this, for example, the EO cross case here is pretty simple, but the EO we see we have 4 bad on this front face, and another 4 bad on the B face. There you go. So to solve this, I would want to do something like this. That's kind of not all that nice. So if I could start from this angle and instead start with 1 slice move, and I can then do, if I was orchestra, I'd do like an M prime to solve these last 2, but realistically I would, oh, headphones just fell off my chair, but yeah, so instead of doing like an M slice there, I'd probably just do LR prime, because I'm boring, but some people would do M slices. Yeah, and then there's also stuff like using the S-slice for EO, like SRS and SUS, that I've never really covered in a video, and I maybe will, maybe won't, but that also is a cool application. Really, the S-slice is a very interesting part of the ZZ method. Whether it's like using it for EO and restoring it afterwards, or using it for EO and not restoring because you started at a different axis, or using it for some form of Z-neutrality, where you get completely different color crosses for one axis. I just think, you know, the S-slice and Z-neutrality is really cool.